Good morning, student. Today I am here, ANUJA Sharma, PGT Economics from KV BIRPUR, Kent, Dehradun. Today I am going to show you this video teaching you about some basic concept of macroeconomics. Children, basically the subject matter of economics is broadly divided into two parts, micro and macro. Micro concept, we have already done it in our previous class. Micro means small. Just look at a screen. Microeconomics deals with economic issues related to small economic units. For example, an individual firm, an individual household, or an individual consumer. On the other side, if we are talking about the macroeconomics, macroeconomics deals with economic issues at the level of the economy as a whole. What is the meaning of as a whole? As a whole means it deals with the aggregates. So, macroeconomics is that part of study that deals with the aggregate issues. Principal components of macroeconomics are theory related to equilibrium, theory of inflation, deflation, theory of monetary policy, foreign exchange rate, literacy rate, population rate, employment, and so on. On the other side, the micro concepts are theory of consumer behavior, theory of producer behavior, theory of price, as we already done it in our previous class, consumer equilibrium, producer equilibrium, equilibrium of price of a commodity. So these all are the concept of microeconomics. So in brief, the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics is that micro deals with the small units, whereas macro deals with the issues as a whole. Now comes to the other slide, that is about our classification of goods. That is our next concept in this chapter. So before explaining about the final goods and intermediate goods, let me tell you about the good. Good means any physical object, man-made or natural. It is a good. So here is the classification of final goods and intermediate goods. What is it? Final goods are meant to final use by consumer or firms. On the other side, intermediate goods are used as raw materials to produce other goods. What is the difference between a final goods and a intermediate goods? Final goods are consumed by the consumer for its final use, and intermediate goods we are using here as a raw material for the production process, for the further production process. The second difference, no value is added to final goods. It means that now the final goods is ready to sell in the market and no value is added to in it. On the other side, intermediate goods move from one stage of production to another, so value is added to these goods in every stage of production. The third important point is, while we are measuring national income, only the value of final goods is taken into account. It is a very important point, children. We must remember it. While we are measuring national income, only the value of final goods we take into account, not the value of intermediate goods. The value of intermediate goods is not included in the estimation of national income. On the other side, the value of final goods is taken into account in the estimation of national income. The fourth point is, final goods remain outside the production boundary, whereas the intermediate goods remains within a production boundary. So this is the difference between the final goods and intermediate goods. Here I can give you an example of a final goods and an intermediate goods. Suppose there is a sugar cane and a consumer is consuming it, then this sugar cane is a final goods for him. On the other side, same sugar cane, if used by a mill to produce sugar, then it is treated as intermediate goods. So this is the difference between the final goods and intermediate goods. Now moving towards the next slide, the difference between consumption goods and capital goods. Consumption goods, you can say it consumer goods also. What are the consumer goods? These goods satisfy human wants directly. And on the other side, capital goods are, these goods satisfy human wants indirectly. Consumer goods have direct demand, but the capital goods have derived demand. Consumption goods do not promote production capacity, but on the other side, all the capital goods increase the production capacity of the economy. But you must remember, the consumer goods increase the quality of life of the society and welfare of the society. How much we will consume the goods, it will indicate the welfare of the society and quality of life. On the other side, if there is an increase in a capital goods, it will indicate the production, increasing production capacity of the economy. So this is all about the consumption goods and capital goods. For consumption goods, we can take an example. If we are having a loaf of bread, an apple, we are drinking a glass of tea, coffee, these all are the examples of consumer goods. And the example of capital goods are big heavy equipments, machinery, buildings, lands. These all are the examples of capital goods. Now moving towards the next concept, that is stock and flow. What is the meaning of stock? It is that quantity of an economic variable which is measured at a particular point of time. It has no time dimension. It is a static concept. For example, quantity of money, wealth, these all are the examples of stock. And on the other side, what is the meaning of flow? It is that quantity of an economic variable which is measured during a period of time. It has time dimension as per hour, per day, per month, and it is a dynamic concept because it keeps on changing. Consumption, investment, birth rate, death rate, these all are the examples of flow. So in brief, if you should have to remember what is the difference between a stock and a flow, so there is only a one point. Stock means the measurement at a particular point of time, at a fixed point of time, and flow during its measures the variable during a period of time. Now the next concept is investment and depreciation. Now first about the investment. Investment is the process of capital formation by a firm or addition to the stock of capital. Here I is denoted as delta K and I means investment. Delta K means change in capital stock during the year. So investment means capital formation. For example, a factory has a one machine and on the same year it purchase one more machinery. So 1 and 1 2, it means it is a investment, it is a capital formation because it is increasing the value of capital. It is increasing the stock of capital. Now the next concept is depreciation. Children, the term depreciation refers to the fall in a value of fixed assets, capital goods, due to normal wear and tear. Depreciation is also called consumption of fixed capital because the value of fixed capital begins to decline with its use in a process of production. What is that wear and tear? Why the value of fixed capital decline? Due to the normal wear and tear. If there is a outdated technology or if there is a change in demand pattern in the economy. So these all things depreciate the value of capital and that is treated as depreciation or consumption of fixed capital. So that's all for today, children. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. Bye bye.